Morning everyone, good morning classmates, and good morning sir. We are group 1 and before we start we would like to introduce ourselves. I am Midshipman Abregonda Christian L together with Midshipwoman Danilyn Almasan, Midshipman Jede Anchado, Midshipman Stephen Ray Arcala, Midshipman Jonas Apurit, and the last one is Midshipman Andre Arce. So, our topic for today is the purpose of SOLAS chapter 2-1. So, SOLAS chapter 2-1, construction standard for ships. So, examining the crucial elements of ship stability, design, and construction for increased maritime safety. So, ang main topic po namin is for examining the stability and design of the ships. So, introduction. Building safer ships, the core of maritime safety. This presentation explores SOLAS chapter 2-1, a cornerstone of international maritime regulation, will examine its purpose, historical context, and critical role in preventing casualties through robust ship construction, subdivision, and stability standards. So, the purpose of SOLAS chapter 2-1, number 1 is preventing casualties. So, establishes mandatory minimum standards for the design and construction of ships to prevent accidents. So, yung preventing casualties po is nagsiset po sila ng standard design sa pagko-construct sa barko para po ma-prevent po yung possible incident on board vessel. So, next is ensuring survival. Focuses on subdivision and stability to keep a vessel afloat and prevent capsizing even after damage. So, yung ensuring survival naman po is make sure po na yung subdivision at stability ng barko ay matibay. So, para po if ever na mabutas yung barko o mapiprevent po nating mag-capsize yung barko or lumubog para po may survive pa po natin yung ibang gamit sa barko or mga products sa barko. And then the last one is the protecting lives at sea. Ultimately aims to enhance safety of life at sea through structural integrity and emergency preparedness. So, yung protecting lives at sea naman po is need po nating maging prepared at aware anytime para po mas ma-enhance po natin yung safety when it comes po sa barko habang nasa barko po tayo para po ma-prevent po natin yung mga possible danger sa barko, yung mga possible na groundings, etc. So, yun lang po and thank you po.
Importance of ship construction, subdivision, stability. Construction governs the material strength and structural integrity of the hull and superstructures, ensure the vessel can withstand environmental forces and operational stresses. Ito ay tungkol sa tibay at materyales ng pagkakagawa ng barko. Mahalaga ito para masiguro na kayang makatiis ang barko sa malalakas na alon at bigat habang naglalayag. Subdivision mandates the division of the ship's hull into watertight compartments. This limits flooding if the hull is breached isolating damage, and preserving buoyancy. Ito ang paghahati ng katawan ng barko sa mga watertight compartments. Kung may butas o sira, hindi agad lulubog ang buong barko dahil limitado lang ang papasok na tubig. Stability addresses the vessel's ability to resist capsizing. Regulations cover intact stability as well as damage stability, ensuring the ship remains upright after flooding. Ito ang kakayahan ng barko na manatiling tuwid at hindi tumaob kahit normal na kondisyon o may pinsala. Dapat matatag pa rin ang barko sa dagat.
A midshipman na Jonas B. A legacy force in disaster. The Titanic influence. Ang Titanic ay sinasabing isang napaka-advanced at ligtas na barko noong panahon na iyon. At maraming tao ang naniniwala na hindi ito kayang palubugin. Ngunit noong ito ay lumubog matapos mabangga ang iceberg, maraming kahinaan sa disenyo at paghahanda sa sakuna ang nalantad. Tulad ng kakulangan sa lifeboats, hindi maayos na plano sa paglikas, at hindi sapat na paghahati ng barko para mapanatiling lumulutang ito kahit may sira. Dahil sa sakunang ito, napagtanto ng mga bansa ang pangangailangang gawin ng mga pandaigdigang alituntunin para sa kaligtasan ng mga pasahero o tripulante sa dagat. At dito nabuo ang SOLAS Convention, Safety of Life at Sea, na naging batayan ng mga regulasyon sa kaligtasan sa dagat hanggang ngayon.
The RMS Titanic was a British passenger liner operated by White Star Line and launched in 1911, considered the largest and the most luxurious ship of its time. It was often described as unsinkable due to an advanced design. On April 10, 1912, the Titanic began its maiden voyage from Southampton to New York, carrying over 2,200 passengers and crew. Tragically, on the night of April 14, 1912, the ship struck an iceberg in the North Atlantic. Within hours, it sank in the early morning of April 15, claiming the lives of more than 1,500 people. The high death toll was caused by insufficient lifeboats, poor evacuation procedures, and the ship's high speed. Despite iceberg warning, the disaster shocked the world and led to major reform in maritime safety, including the 1914 International Convention for the Safety of Life at Sea, or SOLAS. The Titanic remained a lasting symbol of human ambition, tragedy, and the importance of safety at sea. The Herald of Free Enterprise was a British roll-on, roll-off Ro-Ro passenger ferry operated by Townsend Torresen on March 6, 1987. It departed at Belgian port of Zeebrugge for Dover, England, carrying 459 passengers, 80 crew, and 81 cars. Shortly after leaving the port, vessel capsized within minutes, resulting in deaths of 193 people. The cause of tragedy was traced to negligence. The bow doors used for loading vehicle had not been closed before departure. When the ferry gathered speed, seawater rushed into the car deck, causing a rapid loss of stability. Investigation revealed a disease of sloppiness within the company, highlighting poor safety culture, indicate communication, and lack of proper procedures. The disaster led to significant changes in maritime safety and regulation. Ro-Ro ferries were required to implement stricter check on the bow and stern doors, improve water light integrity, and enhance crew training. It also reinforced the importance of safety management system to prevent human error. The sinking of the Herald of Free Enterprise stands as one of the worst peacetime maritime disasters in Europe. and the stark reminder of how compliancy and failures to follow basic safety measures can lead to catastrophic loss of life. The MS Estonia was a passenger and car ferry that operated between Tallinn, Estonia, and Stockholm, Sweden. On the night of September 28, 1994, the vessel encountered severe weather in the Baltic Sea while carrying 989 people on board. In heavy seas, the ship bow visor failed, allowing water to flood the car deck. Within minutes, the ferry listed heavily and capsized, sinking in less than an hour. Tragically, only 137 people survived, while 852 lives were lost, making it one of the deadliest maritime disasters of the late 20th century. Investigation revealed that design flaws in a bow visor and ramp combined with the rough sea condition were the main causes of the accident. The disaster also exposed weaknesses in the evacuation procedures, as many passengers were trapped inside the lifeboat, could not be launched effectively in the storm. The sinking of the Estonia had a lasting impact on international maritime safety. It led to stricter regulation for Ro-Ro passengers ferry, including reinforced bow structures, improved evacuation drill, and better stability standards. It remains a national tragedy for Estonia, Finland, and Sweden, and continues to serve as a reminder of the importance of the ship design, safety, emergency, and preparedness. The Costa Concordia was an Italian cruise ship operated by Costa Crociere, launched in 2005 as one of the largest and the most luxurious vessels of its time. On the evening of January 13, 2012, while carrying over 4,200 passengers and crew, the ship struck rocks off the coast of Isola del Giglio, Italy. The collision tore a large gash in the hull, causing the vessel to take on the water and eventually capsize in shallow water. A total of 32 people lost their lives, while many others were injured. Investigation revealed that the disaster was caused by human error, particularly the captain's decision to deviate from the planned route in order to perform a closed sail pass of the island. The evacuation was chaotic and poorly managed, further contributing to the loss of the life. The tragedy led to major reform in the cruise ship safety regulation, including stricter requirements for route planning, emergency drill at the start of each voyage, and improvement in the crew training. The wreck of the Costa Concordia was later reploaded and dismantled in one of the largest and the most complex salvage operation in maritime history. The sinking of Costa Concordia remains a stark reminder that even in the modern era, human negligence and poor safety management can turn a luxury voyage into a deadly disaster.
Hello everyone, I will discuss the relationship of Solace chapter to other chapters. So, relationship of Solace chapter to other chapters. All remaining chapters of the convention are built around the general provisions and purpose of Solace. It creates the definitions, scope, applicability, and survey, and also certification system that enable the technical requirements in subsequent chapters to be enforced. Chapter 1 guarantees that these regulations are consistently applied through inspections and certifications conducted by the flag state. Even if chapters 2 to chapters 14 contain comprehensive regulations on ship construction, fire prevention, life-saving appliances, navigation, and other safety measures. In summary, Chapter 1 is the backbone of Solace. It connects and harmonizes all other chapters by making their provisions mandatory, verifiable, and enforceable, ensuring that the overall goal of the convention, the safety of life at sea, is effectively achieved. Chapter 2 is not isolated. It forms a critical foundation that interacts with the support other essential SOLAS chapters. Chapter 3 Life-Saving Appliances. A stable, well-subdivided ship provides a safe platform for deploying and using life-saving equipment effectively. Chapter 3 of SOLAS focuses on life-saving appliances and arrangements requiring ships to carry lifeboats, life rafts, life jackets, life buoys, and distress signals to protect lives in emergencies. Nag-uutos din ito ng mga regular na drills at pagsasanay sa mga crew upang matiyak ang wastong paggamit ng mga appliances sa mga kritikal na sitwasyon. Sa pangkalahatan, pinangangalagaan ng kabanatang ito ang buhay sa dagat sa pamamagitan ng pagtatakda ng mahigpit na pamantayan para sa kahandaan ng kagamitan at paghahanda sa mga emergency. Chapter 4 Radio Communications. Structural integrity ensures essential communication equipment remains operational for distress calls and coordination. Radio communications, which are vital for distress alert, safety communication, and coordination during emergency at sea. It requires ship to be equipped with reliable radio systems, including equipment for the Global Maritime Distress and Safety System, or GMDSS, ensuring that distress signals can be sent and received at any time and from any location. Sa pamamagitan ng pagtatakda ng mga pamantayang ito, pinapanatili ng Chapter 4 ang kaligtasan sa dagat sa pamamagitan ng tuloy-tuloy na komunikasyon sa pagitan ng mga barko at mga station sa baybayin. Sa huli, ay pagpapabuti ng mga operasyon sa pagtugon at pagliligtas. Chapter 5 Safety of Navigation. A vessel constructions and stability are fundamental to safe maneuvering and avoiding navigational hazards. Chapter 4 Safety of Navigation of SOLAS focuses on ensuring the safe passage of ships at sea through proper navigational practices, equipment, and responsibilities of both the ship and coastal states. Nilalaman nito ang mandatoring pagdadala sa mga tool na pag-navigate tulad ng mga chart, publication, at electronic system. Pati na rin ang mga obligasyon na magbigay ng sapat na pagpaplano at pagbabantay sa paglalakbay. Binibigyang diin ng kabanata or ng chapter na ito ang parehas na tungkulin ng lahat ng mga marino at maritime na bansa upang maiwasan ang mga aksidente, protektahan ang mga buhay at pangalagaan ang kapaligiran ng dagat. Chapter 6 Dangerous Goods. Proper construction and stability are vital for the safe containment and transport of hazardous cargoes. Chapter 6 Carriage of Dangerous Goods of SOLAS ensures that hazardous materials transported by the sea are handled, packaged, labeled, and stowed properly to prevent accidents and protect lives, property, and the environment. Kinakailangan itong sundin ng mga barko ang International Maritime Dangerous Goods or IMDG Code na nagtatakda ng mga detalyadong tuntunin sa pag-uuri, documentation, at pagtugon sa emerhensya. Ang chapter na ito ay nagbibigay diin sa kahalagahan ng mahigpit na mga hakbang sa kaligtasan at international na kooperasyon sa pagbabawas ng mga panganib na nag-uugnay sa pagdadala ng mga mapanganib na kalakal sa dagat.
Real-world example of accident due to poor construction stability. When SOLAS Chapter 2/1 principles are neglected, the result can be catastrophic, leading to environmental damage, economic loss, and loss of life. MB Tricolor 2002. Collision led to capsize while not directly stability failure. Design and construction standard for Drobos collision would have limited impact. MSC Diamond 2007 grounded and sank due to hull damage, lighting the importance of Drobos subvision and damage stability calculation for passenger vessel. Both accidents show that neglecting SOLAS 2/1 principle of submission stability and hull integrity does not only risk the vessel itself but also human lives, loss of crew and passenger, the environment, oil spill, wreck hazard, economy, ship and cargo loss, costly salvage.